Hi and welcome back to these test routes from Chester Test Centre. Today we're going to be doing route number 18. Now the route numbers don't actually match up to any sort of records, they're just numbered. There's about 24 in total test routes, but a lot of them sort of mix and match between routes. So you don't have to worry too much about the route numbers. I did this one with my driving instructor the day before I recorded this video, and arguably another one of the more technically difficult routes. My instructor says that this is actually the hardest route, so I thought I'd show you. As always, we're going to go to the end here and we're going to turn right, and as usual there's quite a bit of traffic, so just wait until you've got enough room to come out, and away we go. This test route in particular has a lot of things that could potentially catch students out. So there's lots of things that I'd like to make you aware of on this test route. Initially it starts off quite nicely. We're up onto our 50 mile an hour, and then we're going to go to the roundabout, and as always we're going to be in the right hand lane because we're going all the way around the roundabout to the right. So it's the third exit right. Again, national speed limit starts from here, as you can see. And we're just going to go all the way around the roundabout, making sure it's safe. And we're going to indicate left just before the turning and get our speeds up towards the national speed limit. And we're going to head down this road for a little while until we get to the set of traffic lights, and then we're going to take a right onto Parkgate Road. Just be aware that if your instructor says right at the lights, it's not this right hand turning. That goes into a farm. So we need to get all the way to the lights, get into the right hand lane, and then when the lights are green, we're going to turn right onto Parkgate Road. So we've gone left previously down towards Chester, but this time we're heading up towards Ellesmere Port, and we're going to stay on this road until 2 mils. So as always, this is Parkgate Road. This is a 50 mile an hour speed limit. There are quite a few roads that come onto Parkgate Road. So although it is a 50, just make sure you're keeping your eyes well ahead for any developing hazards that are coming up. My speed's about 40 miles an hour at this point, as you can see from the dial. Lots of traffic uses this road, motorbikes particularly, even farm traffic because we're in the middle of farmland. And also lots of lorries that are going from Liverpool down towards Chester and the motorway. So yeah, quite a nice road to start on, quite a fast road. You can see their hazard sign. There is a turning coming out from the left-hand side. You can see it there, just passing it now. We're going to keep heading down Parkgate Road. Just being aware of cars trying to pull out. There's another road here on the left, just past the Pesto at the Yacht. And the road's opened up a little bit, so I can increase my speed. So I'm now probably around 48 miles an hour. Just matching my speed to what's going on around me. We're just going to keep going for now. And we have a 4-way crossroads coming up. This is 2 mils. Traffic lights. You can see the mini showroom on the left-hand side. That's how you know we're at 2 mils. I'm going to go into the right lane, but make sure you miss those turnings there. So don't indicate too early and confuse drivers. Make sure you indicate once you're actually past all of the other right-hand turnings. And we're going to go into the left-hand lane. This road is still a 50 road, and it's going to merge into one coming up. You can see there's our arrows to merge into one road, and we're back at our national speed limit. So another fast road. But again, making sure you match your speed to the traffic around you. Obviously, I'm doing about 45 at this point. Because of the traffic in front of me, I'm just giving them plenty of room. And at times I'm going to actually slow down because I get a little bit too close. So this is the Welsh Road. We're going to stay on this road until the end. Lots of signposts along this route reminding you that it's 50, and obviously it's speed controlled with those variable speed cameras. You keep getting repeaters every now and again. So just make sure you're paying attention to your speed, making sure you're not going too fast. So we've got quite a lot of signage coming up telling us various things. New road layout ahead, etc. Traffic lights. And we're going to continue up here, stay in the left-hand lane, go through these lights. Got a hump bridge coming up, so make sure you reduce your speed enough to manage that hump bridge effectively. It's not too bad of a hump bridge, but still something to be aware of. Okay, and this is still a 50, but I'm keeping my speeds to around 40, just to match what's going on ahead of me and any potential hazards. Another 50 repeater. I'm just going to keep going all the way down, right the way to the end of this road. And you're going to know you're coming towards the end of this road because you've got your first warning there, traffic lights ahead, and then there's a church on the right hand side here. That can be your landmark, and there's a petrol station on the corner here. So we're going to these lights and we're going to take a left at the lights. There's a bit of a strange road layout, and I'll show you as we go through it. It drops down to 40 from here. So we're going left, but then we're going to need to go right immediately after this. So you can see there's a divider with a right turn there. Don't turn through that. Another concrete. And then we're going to indicate right across both of these lanes and then into this right-hand turn here at these lights. So just be aware that at the end of the concrete, there is a white triangle. Don't cut across too soon. And I've just pointed the camera towards that pub on the corner there. It's called the Chimneys. That is where you will do parking maneuvers potentially if you do this route. If you drive straight past this, then obviously you're going to be doing them elsewhere. But on my mock test, I did forward bay parking. And you'll go into that pub and it's a right-hand turn. Just be aware that there will be traffic potentially coming from the left-hand side as well. So if you do end up going into that pub, just make sure you reduce your speed, check for other vehicles that you'll need to give way to before you turn right across their lane. We're not going to go in there today, but we immediately drop down to a 20-mile-an-hour zone here. And the entrance to the pub is just on the left here. So if you do go in there, then that will be the entrance. And we're just going to keep our speed down to the 20 miles an hour. I was having some trouble with my indicator here, so I'm still fighting it, trying to get it to unstick. And there we go, finally. So keep my speed down, still 20. Until these signs, when it goes up to 40, a little bit staggered, but it's now 40 miles an hour. Just be aware, there's no lines in the middle, there's no white lines separating the lanes, so just be prepared for cars to be oncoming. We're going to go down to the end of this lane and we're going to take a left turn here. It's a bit of a hidden road, so just make sure you look both ways before you pull out onto the left and head down. We're still in a 40 though, and the road is nice and clear ahead of me, so I'm going to get my speeds up a little bit. But as always on a motorbike, things are a little bit more sketchy, especially on blind corners like that. And we've got some roadworks. Now this is the second big hazard that you're going to come across on this route. So we're going to be turning right at the end of this road, but I want you to see if you can spot what the major hazard is. So we're going to go to the end and we're going to take a right hand turn. And I'm just going to pause it here. But did you spot the stop sign? So make sure you do stop at this intersection. And make sure to get your speeds up back to 40. So again, that's one of only 2 stop signs that are on the driving test routes. The other one I mentioned in previous videos is as you're coming out from Sorgall onto Parkgate Road, there is a stop sign there. So just make sure if you do end up doing this route that you do actually stop at that stop sign. If you don't, then it's a fail. So we're going to continue down this road for a little while. We've got the motorway on the left hand side, but you don't need to worry about that. We're running just parallel to it. But we do have some more potential hazards that might trip students up coming up. So on the left here, you can see some signs. You can see there sharp turns and a 10% gradient. So I'm in 4th gear at the minute. I'm going to change down to 3rd gear now. And I'm going to use engine braking to reduce my speed. And as we get down to the bottom, we're going to have another slow sign here and a sharp bend to the right. So I'm going to, again, slow down one more time. And this is another dangerous bit. This is a bridge where only one car can fit through at a time. We are still in a 40 zone, but just make sure you do look for other cars oncoming. We're going to go back up this hill, and then immediately at the top of the hill, another thing to potentially catch you out, it drops down immediately to 20, and there's road humps as well. So just take it really easy. Make sure by the time you get to the top, you're doing 20. And then we've got road humps as well to reduce the speed even more. Now on your test, you might actually be asked to turn right. Just on the road coming up on the right hand side there, you might be asked to turn right there. And they will do some manoeuvres potentially, and even a hill start there. My instructor asked me to pull up on the left where it was safe. There was a school zone with zigzags, which obviously you can't pull over in. And there was also, in front of that, a bus stop. So if you are asked to pull up on the left there, then make sure you pull up in the place that doesn't have road markings. And then if you do pull up there and do a bit of a hill start, it will be an immediate right-hand turn. But we're not going up this way today, so we're going to go to the end of the road and we're going to turn right. We're back up to a 30-mile-an-hour zone. And we're taking a right-hand turn towards the town centre of Ellesmere Port and Whitby. So getting my speeds up. And we're just going to continue heading down this road. Again, it's nice and clear ahead of me. If there are cars, they're not sort of sticking out into the road. We're going to get to this roundabout and we're going to go straight across. So we want the left-hand lane and we're going straight across this roundabout. So no need to indicate on this roundabout, going straight across. But you will indicate just as you're about to turn. And there's the turning, gone past it. I'm going to do a quick indicate. Stay in the left, just in case anyone does try to come around your outside. And just continue on our way. And we're continuing through these lights, staying on this road. So still a 30. You can see up ahead there is flashing for a crossing, so just make sure there's nobody waiting or already on the crossing. And just continue down. I think the majority of the difficulty on this route is the bits at the top end with that cut across the 2 lanes and then the stop sign and then obviously the hill. So just making sure once you're past those things, don't get lulled into a false sense of security because you are still driving. You are only halfway through the route. At this roundabout, we're going to take the first exit left here. Just a quick indicate before you go. And we're going to continue heading down this road. Again, I'm keeping my speeds appropriate, looking out for anything going on around me. Still a 30, so I'm quite happy to do the top end of that speed. And as we're coming up to this roundabout, we're going to go into the right-hand lane and we're going to turn right at this roundabout. So all the way around, third exit, and then we're going to go left down here. And it's going to drop down to 20 again. So just nice and easy. Still got your road humps in the road, so even if you are doing 20, those road humps are designed to slow you down even more. But as you can see, the road is quite clear ahead of me. There's nothing really oncoming. So I'm happy to sit at 20. But obviously be aware of things like that cyclist and people potentially trying to cross the road or oncoming cars that might need to slow down. I'm just going to continue doing 20 down this road. Down past this garage. And we are going to be turning right at the end of this road. There is a crossing here, so make sure if there are cars also turning right that you don't stop on this crossing. Back up to 30 mile/h zone. And we're going to turn right back down towards Chester. And we're going to be going back past the Morrison's supermarket that we've passed before, going the opposite way. So to the left is Ellesmere Port Town Centre. So we're just going to take a right hand turn and we're going to head back down towards the Strawberry roundabouts. Again, quite a busy road, so make sure you wait until it's appropriate. And here's the Morrison's on the right hand side. There's a little mini roundabout. We're not going to do anything major. We're just going to go around straight across and continue on down this road. Depending on the time of day, there is actually a lollipop lady that will come out, obviously during school times. And there is a sign coming up as well to warn you of that. So depending on the time of the day, just be aware that you may need to stop. See, there's a school patrol sign there. So she does come out and stop people from crossing. We can continue down this road, down past the church. And there's also a hospital coming up on the right hand side. So there may be people turning to the right there, so just be aware of that. Again, more crossings. This is a very pedestrianised area, so just be aware if there are people already on the crossing or if there are people waiting to cross, then making sure you give way to them. We're going to head down to this next set of traffic lights. I'm going to go straight across the traffic lights. Now, something for you to just be aware of, we're going to be in the left-hand lane here. Left-hand lane is left turn and straight on. And then immediately through these lights, we're going to need to get over into the right-hand lane, follow where this car's going, because that left-hand lane becomes a left turn at those lights. So make sure once you go through those first set of lights in the left lane, you go over into the right-hand lane to continue on through the second set of lights. And we're continuing all the way down to the end, still in a 30. And then at the end of here, we have one of the two strawberry roundabouts. At this roundabout, we're taking the third exit to the right. So we're going to be in the right-hand lane. So position yourself appropriately. Again, strawberry roundabouts have 3 lanes, left, middle, and right turn. So you want to make sure you're in the right lane. I'm just going to wait for any cars that are coming around. And then I'm going to go all the way around the roundabout, indicating right the whole time until just before the turning. And we're going to indicate left and go across. And we're going to continue on this road. 30 until these signs, when it goes back up to 50. And we're going to head down to the final strawberry roundabout. You've seen these roundabouts multiple times. They do like to use them on test routes, especially if you go around the Ellesmere Port route. Here's the second roundabout. We're going to go straight across on this one. So again, make sure we take the middle lane on this one, because there are 3 lanes on these roundabouts. So the middle lane to continue straight on. Reducing my speed. Is it safe to go? Yes. I'm going to go all the way across. Quick indicate left. And we're on our way back to the test centre itself. Again, this is a 50-mile-an-hour road. This is Dunkirk Way, which is where the test centre is. But as I said, they do like to use the strawberry roundabouts. So just make sure that you are aware that those strawberry roundabouts have 3 lanes. So depending on where you want to go, you need to make sure you're in the right lane, which is appropriate for where you are going. We're just going to continue back down this road. Back down past the Capenhurst turning. It's nice and clear, so my speed's about 45 at this point. Only because of the traffic ahead of me. And I'm going to reduce my speed because I can see that there's a developing hazard. And we're back in the queue for the test centre. I'm going to give this car a little bit of room. Try not to stop completely. I'm going to try and continue creeping a little bit. We're heading back to these sets of traffic lights outside the test centre. And we're going to be turning left at those lights again. And they've just turned green. So I'm going to get ready to take the left turning. And away we go. Lights have changed again. I've only let a couple of cars through, so just going to come to a stop and just wait my turn. And this is quite a busy road. And it depends on the test route as to how you will exit and enter it. Sometimes you'll leave from one way and come back in the opposite way, as we've done on this route. Sometimes you'll go to the roundabout, slingshot all the way around and come back again down this road, as we did on one of the other test routes. So it just depends on the test route how you get back to the test centre. And we've got our green light, so away we go. Back down to the left. And we're going to do another quick indication to the left. Back into the test centre. And I'm just going to pull up into a bay. Again, it's going to be the second right. So whenever you come into the test centre, it's going to be the second right-hand turn. So you're going to want to come into this section here. And the parking bays are down the end there to the side of that blue door. Obviously, we can't do that today because we're not on a test. I'm just going to reverse into this parking space. And that is route number 18 completed. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do a quick video to show you exactly where the route went. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.